All right. Okay, what page are we on? 40. Muy bien. La página 40. El ángel de oro. ¿Qué quiere decir el ángel de oro?
The golden angel.
The golden angel, exactly. Ángel is an angel. De oro means of gold. ¿Entendido? El ángel de oro is the golden angel. En Corcoran siempre llovía mucho durante la temporada del algodón, pero aquel año llovió más de lo habitual. Recién habíamos llegado de Fowler, donde habíamos piscado uvas, cuando empezó a llover a cántaros. Nuestra cabaña era una de tantas chozas en las que vivían los trabajadores agrícolas. Las cabañas estaban alineadas en una fila detrás de un arroyuelo. All right, so where are we?
In Corcoran.
In Corcoran, our very own Corcoran. Very good. And what is it saying here? Siempre llovía mucho.
Always rains.
It always rained a lot durante la temporada del algodón. ¿Qué es la temporada del algodón?
Stormy season?
No, good guess. Temporada is a season, but what is algodón? ¿Alguien sabe? Es una planta blanca de que hacemos la ropa. Cotton, eso es, sí. Okay, can anyone tell me when is cotton season?
Right now.
Right now. Okay, as in it's being picked right now?
No. Kind of.
Kind of. Bien. Okay, is this the start of cotton season or the end of cotton season?
Start.
The start of cotton season, and when would you say cotton season ends?
End of November.
End of November. Okay, so we've got a couple months of cotton season. Sound good? Sure. Okay, bien. It always rained a lot during cotton season. Do you agree that it rains a lot during this season?
No.
Right now it's not, but rainy season would be November, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I would say we're in November en esta historia, okay? We're in the month of November. It always rained a lot during the cotton season, pero aquel año llovió más de lo habitual. What's that saying? Aquel año,
This year.
that year, way back then, okay, because he's writing this story about something that happened way back when. That year, llovió más de lo habitual.
More than golden.
Yeah, it rained more than normal. Okay, so it was always rainy. This year it was especially rainy. Okay, and where had they come from?
Fowler.
From Fowler. Again, our very own Fowler. What had they done in Fowler?
They're probably picking food.
Okay, what does it say in the text? They were picking grapes, exactly. Okay, we had recently arrived from Fowler, where we had picked grapes, when it started to llover a cántaros. What do you think that means?
A lot.
Yeah, to rain a lot. ¿Sí? Nuestra cabaña era una de tantas chozas en las que vivían los trabajadores agrícolas. Where does he live?
In a cabana.
In a cabaña, which is like a cabin, ¿sí? Okay, and una cabaña in a little house, okay? And it's part of a camp where lots of ag workers live. Okay, there's all these little houses, little shacks that ag workers live in. Okay, they're all lined up detrás de un arroyuelo. Okay, ¿entendido? Okay, no había mucho que hacer cuando llovía. Nos quedábamos adentro jugando a las adivinanzas y contando historias de fantasmas que habíamos escuchado de otros trabajadores del campamento. Cuando me aburría de escuchar los mismos cuentos dichos muchas veces antes, observaba un pez dorado de nuestro vecino de al lado. Desde nuestra ventana podía ver a través de la ventana del vecino la pecera que estaba sobre una mesita. Pasaba horas y horas pegado a la ventana mirando al pez dorado deslizarse lentamente y agitar las plantas de color verde jade con sus delicadas aletas. A mamá también le gustaba observarlo. Le llamaba el ángel de oro. All right, so this paragraph is saying there wasn't a lot to do when it was raining. What would he do? Nos quedábamos adentro jugando a las adivinanzas y contando historias de fantasmas. What would they do?
They'd look out the window.
Okay, that's the next part. He would look out the window when he was bored with these other things. What are the things that they would do that he got bored with? Jugando a las adivinanzas. What do you think that is?
Something or other.
Okay, good. They're playing some sort of a game. Do you know what adivinanzas are? Do you know what adivinar is? Cuando no sabes la respuesta, tienes que adivinar. ¿Entendido? ¿Qué es adivinar? If you don't know the answer, you have to guess. Eso es. Adivinanzas are guesses. So this is a game like 20 questions. I'm thinking of an animal. Guess what animal I'm thinking of. A guessing game. Entendido? Okay, so when it was raining, they would stay inside and they would play a guessing game. And what else would they do? Contando historias de fantasma.
Ghost stories?
Exactly. Telling ghost stories. Okay, that they had heard from other workers. When he got sick of listening to those same stories that he had heard over and over again, then he would look out the window. And what would he look at? Observaba un pez dorado de nuestro vecino de al lado. What's a pez dorado?
Fish.
Good. A pez is a fish. Dorado is de oro. What does de oro mean?
Golden.
So what is a pez dorado?
A golden fish. A
A
goldfish.
goldfish. Eso es. Have you seen a goldfish?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, we all know what a goldfish is. Yes?
Orange.
Okay, so, yes, but they're called goldfish. Yep, in Spanish too. So he would sit at the window and he would watch his neighbor's goldfish. From his window, he could see through his neighbor's window and he could see the goldfish bowl, the pecera, that's the fish tank, that was on a little table. So he would spend hours and hours. Pegado a la ventana literally means stuck to the window or glued to the window, watching the goldfish. Deslizarse lentamente y agitar las plantas de color verde jade con sus delicadas aletas. Okay, so he would watch it agitate the jade green plants with its, what do you think aletas are? What's that? No, not with the plants aletas, with the fishes aletas, the fins, eso es. Okay, see how we can use the context to figure out what words are that we do not know? Okay, so he would watch it agitate the plants with its fins. A mamá también le gustaba observarlo. Le llamaba el ángel de oro. What's that last sentence saying?
The angel of gold.
Okay, what's the first part of that last sentence saying?
Also like to
Yes, Mom liked to watch it too, and she called it the angel of gold, or the gold angel. ¿Entendido? Sí. All right, next paragraph. Papá se pasaba preocupado todo el tiempo y fumaba cigarrillo tras cigarrillo, quejándose de la lluvia porque no podíamos piscar algodón cuando estaba mojado. Si no deja de llover, tendremos que buscar trabajo en otro lugar, repetía, paseándose de un lado hacia otro de la choza. Incluso la idea de la lluvia le daba dolor de cabeza. Afortunadamente, yo tenía que ir a la escuela la semana siguiente. All right, what is this paragraph saying? Who's it talking about? His dad. Okay, and how is his dad?
He always occupied his time.
Bien. Preocupado is different from ocupado.
Yeah.
So ocupado is
Worried.
busy. Preocupado is worried. Exactly. Okay, so he was always worried. And fumaba cigarro tras cigarro. What do you think that's saying?
You smoke cigarette after cigarette.
Exactly. He smoked cigarette after cigarette. Quejándose is complaining. Okay, complaining about
The rain.
the rain. Why? What's wrong with the rain?
Then it can't work.
Because he can't work. Okay, why can't he work?
Because you can't pick cotton while it's raining.
Exactly. Okay, because we cannot pick cotton cuando estaba mojado, when it was
What?
wet. Eso es. Okay, because we couldn't pick cotton when it was wet. So if it didn't stop raining, what does that mean?
Less time to pick cotton.
Okay, not only less time to pick cotton, what does the text say? Si no deja de llover, tendremos que buscar trabajo en otro lugar. If it doesn't stop raining,
I'll have to find work.
we'll have to find work somewhere else. We're gonna have to leave, okay? So we can only stay here for so long sitting around while it rains. If the rain doesn't let up, we're gonna have to find work somewhere else. Understood?
I tried to think about rain, it rained for so long that I couldn't pick it.
It's verdad. See, now it's hard to imagine. See, it's also hard for us to imagine that lifestyle, right? Where we are so dependent on the weather. I mean, I understand, yes, we're dependent on the weather for work that we do on farms and dairies, but for their livelihood, right? We're gonna have to go somewhere else because we're not making any money here. Entendido? Okay, so he's stressed out, he's worried about the rain. Even thinking about the rain gave him a headache, is what that part is saying, okay? Afortunadamente, yo tenía que ir a la escuela la semana siguiente. What's that saying? Afortunadamente.
Unfortunately.
Not unfortunately, that would be desafortunadamente.
So
Fortunately,
he had to go to school.
I had to go to school the next week, okay? So he gets to leave it behind. He doesn't have to worry about picking, okay? Fortunately, I had to go to school the next week. All right, so here we are, the next week. El lunes por la mañana, después de recibir la bendición de mamá, caminé a la escuela que estaba como a una milla del campamento de trabajo. Por el camino me encontré a Miguelito, que vivía en el mismo campamento. Era 2 años mayor que yo y había comenzado la escuela por primera vez ese año, en octubre, un mes antes que yo. Él me llevó a la oficina y me tradujo todas las preguntas que el director de la escuela me hizo. Antes de ir a la clase del tercer grado, Miguelito y yo nos pusimos de acuerdo para vernos a la salida en el patio e irnos juntos a casa. Okay, so what happens Monday morning? Caminé a la escuela que estaba como a una milla del campamento de trabajo.
He traveled to school.
Yep.
It's like a mile away.
Good. How did he get to school? Caminé.
Walk.
He walked. Anyways, he walked to school, which was about a mile away from the camp. Okay? What happened on his way?
He met his friend Miguelito.
He met Miguelito. Good. Who's Miguelito? What do we learn about Miguelito in this paragraph?
He lives in the same camp.
Good. He lived in the same camp. What
He's-
else?
He's 2 years older.
He's 2 years older than Miguelita.
and He's just starting
Sorry, Miguelito is 2 years older than Panchito, and he's just starting school for the first time. Okay, just starting school for the first time. What month is it? I don't know. It's November. He had started in October, and now Panchito is starting in November. Okay, do you think schools in Corcoran start in October?
No.
No. He just hadn't gone to school for the first several months. Okay, so we don't know where Miguelito was. Maybe his family was in another camp. Maybe they were also in Fowler. Okay, who knows? But he had not been to school until October. Panchito is going to school for the first time that year in November. Entendido? Okay, and I believe this is saying that it was Miguelito's first year ever going to school. Not just that it was his first time going to school that year in October, but he had never gone to school before, period. Entendido? Okay, what grade is Panchito in? 3rd grade. And Miguelito is 2 years older than him. See? Okay, so we can imagine the difficulty of jumping into school in November, right? After having missed those months of school. Not to mention for Miguelito, who had never gone to school before. Entendido?
Yeah.
Okay, so what did Miguelito do to help Panchito? Él me llevó a la oficina y me tradujo todas las preguntas que el director de la escuela me hizo. Figure out the words that you know, and you should be able to fill in the blanks with the words that you don't know based on what's logical. He,
Took him to the office.
good, he took me to the office and
Introduced.
not introduced. What is traducir? That's what we're doing right now.
Translate.
Translated, exactly. He translated for me all of the questions.
Director of the escuela.
Good, that the principal of the school
Had
asked me. Me hizo is asked me, okay? So he brought me to the office and he translated for me all of the questions that the principal asked me. Antes de ir a la clase del tercer grado, Miguelito y yo nos pusimos de acuerdo para vernos a la salida en el patio e irnos juntos a casa. What did they decide before they went to class?
He's in 3rd grade.
Okay, before going to 3rd grade, what did they decide? Miguelito and Panchito. Nos pusimos de acuerdo means we agreed. Okay, we reached an agreement. What did they agree to do?
We have to go home together.
Good. Okay, bear nose. That's bear nose. What is bear? To see. And what does nos mean in this case?
They, we.
Each other, exactly. Okay, that's a reflexive pronoun. Okay, normally nos as a reflexive pronoun means us, but it's also a reciprocal pronoun. That means instead of doing something to ourselves, I do something to you and you do something to me. That's reciprocal. Does that make sense? Okay, and that's the idea of each other. So they agreed to see each other or meet each other where? A la salida. What is la salida?
Leave.
It's a place. What would that mean? What place is related to leaving?
The gate.
Yeah, the exit. Okay, the exit or the entrance. Makes sense? So they decide to meet at the exit, okay, on the playground and do what?
Walk home.
Walk home together. Exactly. Okay? So, hey, after school, let's meet up here and we can walk home together. Entendido?
Yep.
Okay. Cuando salí al patio, so now here we are at the end of the school day. Cuando salí al patio, Miguelito ya me estaba esperando. Caminamos al campamento de trabajo siguiendo el mismo camino que habíamos tomado esa mañana para ir a la escuela. El camino estaba lodoso y lleno de charcos, igual que el patio de la escuela. Miguelito y yo nos imaginábamos que los charcos eran lagos y que nosotros éramos gigantes que pisaban sobre ellos. Contábamos en voz alta el número de lagos que pisábamos, tratando de ganarle al otro. Miguelito tenía piernas más largas que yo, pero yo le daba la batalla hasta que me resbalé y perdí el equilibrio. Mi pie derecho aterrizó en uno de los charcos, salpicando agua de lodo en mi overol limpio y sobre Miguelito. El cartón que servía de plantilla a mis zapatos se mojó y se despegó. Cuando me levanté, Miguelito y yo comenzamos a reír. Seguimos caminando, pero cada vez que nos mirábamos el uno al otro, nos poníamos a reír otra vez y así continuamos hasta llegar al campamento. All right, back to the beginning of the paragraph. What happened when he got to the playground? Miguelito ya me estaba esperando.
They separated?
Nope, not yet. So this is at the end of the day.
He had already gone home.
No. What's esperar?
To hope.
To hope or
Fish.
to wait. Espera, wait. Esperar is to wait. See? As well as to hope. So when I got to the patio, when I got to the playground, Miguel was already waiting for me. Entendido? Okay, so Miguel got there first. Did he just go home?
No.
No, he waited for him like they had agreed. Okay? And then what did they do?
They walked.
They walked. Exactly. They walked back to the camp, following the same path that they had taken there. El camino estaba lodoso y lleno de charcos. All right, lodoso and charcos are probably words that we don't know. What is logical? El camino is the path. Okay, the path was something and full of something. What do you think the path was? Or what was it full of? That's
Puddles.
logical. Puddles. Exacto. Charcos are puddles. What do you think lodoso means?
What?
Good guess.
Muddy.
Mojado is wet. Lodoso means muddy. Okay, lodo is mud. Lodoso is muddy. So the path was muddy and full of puddles, just like the playground. Miguelito y yo nos imaginábamos que los charcos eran lagos y que nosotros éramos gigantes que pisaban sobre ellos. What did Miguelito and Panchito do? They imagined
Puddles were lakes.
that the puddles were lakes and
Giant.
that they were giants
Jumping over them.
jumping over them. Exactly. Okay, so you guys were little kids, right? You can imagine this. There's puddles, and you're like, look at these lakes. We're giants, and we're walking over them. Don't step on that little person, right? You can imagine this. That's what they're doing. They're stepping over the lakes, pretending to be giants. Entendido? Okay, and what would they do while they were stepping over them? Contábamos en voz alta el número de lagos que pisábamos, tratando de ganarle al otro.
They were singing.
Not singing.
Counting.
Counting. Good. Counting. What's en voz alta?
Deep voices.
Alta here it is here, loud. Okay, counting out loud, counting loudly. What were they counting?
The number of lakes.
The number of lakes
That they jumped over.
that they were stepping over. Exactly. And trying to ganarle al otro.
To win.
Yeah, to beat the other person. It was a competition. Who can jump over more puddles? Make sense? Okay, so they're pretending to be giants, jumping over puddles, counting them out loud, and trying to outdo each other. Miguelito tenía piernas más largas que yo. What's that saying?
He had bigger feet than me.
He had longer legs than me. Yep. Pero yo le daba la batalla. What do you think that means? Literally, I was giving him a battle. What does that mean? He had longer legs than me, but
He
I was
was
putting up a
keeping
fight.
up.
yeah, he was keeping up with him. He put up a fight. He held his own. Understood? That's not a phrase that translates literally, but that's the idea. Okay? He was keeping up. He was holding his own until hasta que me resbalé y perdí el equilibrio. What do you think perdí el equilibrio means?
Something about books.
Not libro, equilibrio. What does that look like? It helps if you look at the word, okay? It looks like an English word. What English word does equilibrio look like?
Equilibrium.
Equilibrium. What is equilibrium?
Center mass.
They tied.
The middle,
What's another word for equilibrium?
when it's even,
Or
equal.
Balance.
balance. Thank you. Equilibrio is balance. What is perdí el equilibrio?
Lose.
I lost my balance. Exactly. Okay, so I was holding my own until I what and lost my balance?
Until
Trip.
Yeah, I slipped. Okay, I slipped. Me resbalé. I slipped and I lost my balance. What happened when that happened? Mi pie derecho aterrizó en uno de los charcos.
His right foot
My right foot,
landed in the puddle.
good. My right foot landed in one of the puddles. And what happened when it landed in one of the puddles?
They got water. over
It
it.
splashed water, salpicando agua. What is agua de lodo?
Dirty water.
Yeah, muddy water. Splashing muddy water and mi overo limpio. Splashing muddy water on my
Clean.
clean overalls. Yep. And
Also,
sobre Miguelito. On my overalls and
also on Miguel.
on Miguelito. Exactly. Okay. On my clothes and also all over Miguelito. El cartón que servía de plantilla a mi zapato se mojó y se despegó. Lots of unknown words here. What do you think we're saying? What is el cartón?
Box.
It's the title of the book. What's cartón?
Cardboard.
Cardboard. Very good. The cardboard que servía de plantilla a mis zapatos. What is servía?
Soul.
The cardboard that was being used.
Yeah, that was serving as, that was being used as, what part of my shoes do you
The
think?
bottom.
Yeah, the bottom, the sole, okay? So the cardboard that was acting as the sole of my shoes, why was cardboard acting as the sole of his shoes?
'Cause he's
Okay, he probably had holes in his shoes, couldn't afford new shoes, so they put cardboard on the bottom in the meantime. Entendido? Okay, what happened when he stepped in the puddle?
cardboard was used.
The cardboard got wet and it came off. Okay, we know what cardboard in water does, right? The cardboard got wet and it unstuck from the bottom of his shoe. Cuando me levanté, when I got up, Miguelito y yo comenzamos a reír. What happened? They started to laugh. Eso es. They kept walking, pero cada vez que nos mirábamos el uno al otro, nos poníamos a reír otra vez. What's that saying? Every time. Nos here again is reciprocal. Every time we nos mirábamos.
They looked at another puddle.
Every time they looked at Each other, exactly. Every time they looked at each other,
They laughed.
they started laughing again. Okay, you've had this, right, where you get a case of the giggles and you're not supposed to be laughing, but every time you catch somebody's eye, you can't help it, you just start laughing. We've had this experience, yes? Okay, that's what's happening. They're walking home. Every time they look at each other, they start laughing again. And so it goes until they get to the camp. Cuando nos aproximábamos a nuestra cabaña, yo me di cuenta de que no había nadie en casa, porque nuestra carcachita no estaba estacionada afuera. ¿Quieres pasar? Le pregunté a Miguelito. Tengo que ir primero a mi casa, me contestó. Te veo al rato. Estaré allá atrás, cerca del arroyo, en caso de que no me encuentres en casa cuando regreses, le dije. No olvides que nuestra cabaña es la número 10, agregué. Yo vivo 10 cabañas más allá, la número 20, me contestó. All right, so what is this saying? Cuando nos aproximábamos a nuestra cabaña. Cuando? When we,
Got close
very good, when we got close
to the cabana.
to our cabin, me di cuenta de. Do we know what darse cuenta de means?
Oh, story?
No.
To know.
Darse cuenta de means to realize. Okay, that's a common verb, to realize. When we got close to my cabin, I realized, what did he realize? No había nadie en casa. That no one was home, exactly. He realized that no one was home. How did he know? Porque nuestra carcachita no estaba estacionada afuera. What is that saying? How did he know no one was home?
No one.
Nuestra carcachita no estaba estacionada afuera. Let's say I want to know if my neighbors are home. How can I tell?
The lights are off.
Good guess. No.
Cars are.
The car is gone. Exactly. That's what this is saying. Okay, when we got close to our cabin, I realized that no one was home because, what is nuestra? Our. Carcachita is their nickname for their car, which we learned in a previous chapter. Okay, it's like rust bucket. See? Okay? When I got home, I realized no one was home because our car, our rust bucket, was not
Parked in front.
parked outside. Estacionada is parked. Okay? It wasn't parked outside. ¿Quieres pasar? Le pregunté a Miguelito. What did he ask Miguelito?
Do you want to?
Good. Do you want to
So,
come in? Very good. Logical, right? Use logic to help you figure out words that you don't know what it means. Okay? The context will help you. Do you want to come in? ¿Quieres pasar? Tengo que ir primero a mi casa. Okay, what does that mean? Tengo que ir.
I have to first.
I have to go
to my house.
to my house first. Okay? I have to go to my house first. Is he going to come to his house?
Yeah. after
Yeah,
he goes
but
to his
first he
house.
has to go to his own house. Te veo al rato. What is te veo al rato?
To look for the lab.
A rata is a rat. A rato is a while or a little bit.
See you.
Okay? See you in a little bit, exactly. Te is you, direct object. Veo, I see, that's our verb. Al rato, in a little while. Okay, I'll see you in a little while. Estaré allá atrás, cerca del arroyo, en caso de que no me encuentres en casa cuando regreses. What is that saying? Estaré. What kind of a verb is that?
Future.
Future. Of what verb? Estar, what subject?
That's probably like the he, she.
Yo.
The yo form. So what is this saying?
I will.
I will. Very good. What's a start? Be. Thank you. I will be allá atrás.
Right back.
Not right back.
I'll be there.
Be back.
I'll be out back.
Out back.
Okay, back there. Allá atrás. Delante, detrás, right? Atrás is back there. I'll be back there. Cerca del arroyo. Do you guys know what an arroyo is? That's a word that we've borrowed into English. We call it an arroyo. Anybody know what an arroyo is? Jack, did you say you know what it is?
No.
No.
So like, is Arroyo Grande or whatever named after him?
Yeah. What's Arroyo Grande?
Well,
It's a
River.
big, yeah, okay, so an arroyo is a canyon that's formed by a river. Okay, so this would be not like the Grand Canyon, but like a little place where when it rains, there's water flowing. And because of the water flowing, the ground has eroded and left this canyon. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but normally it's not so big as a canyon. It's just like a little stream or river that when it's not rainy, it's dry. Does that make sense? Okay, that's an arroyo. So he says, I'll be out back by the arroyo, en caso de que no me encuentres en casa cuando regreses. Okay, what is that saying? En caso de que? That's a cognate. En caso?
Inside,
In
house.
case, not casa, en caso, in case. I'll be outside by the arroyo in case no me encuentres en casa. In case
Not inside.
you don't find me inside when you get back. Okay? Those verbs, encuentres and regreses, are in the subjunctive. Okay? I don't know if you're going to find me in my house when you get back. It depends how quickly you go, right? But in case you don't find me in my house, that's the subjunctive, because I don't know if you won't find me. Does that make sense? Okay? In case you don't find me, you'll see me out back by the arroyo. No olvides que nuestra cabaña es la número 10. Agregue. What's that saying? No olvides. Don't.
Remember.
Opposite.
Forget.
Don't forget. Very good. Don't forget that
No one.
My
our
house or
cabin
is
Number 10.
is number 10. Yep, all the cabins look alike, right? So he wants to make sure that he can find him. Don't forget, our cabin is number 10. I added. Yo vivo 10 cabañas más allá, la número 20. What's that saying? Yo vivo.
He lives in 10 cabins down.
Exactly. I live 10 cabins beyond that. Number 20, he answered. Okay, tell me about the relationship between Miguelito and Francisco.
They're tight.
Okay, they're tight. Did they know each other before this day?
No.
No, but they're having fun together. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, they care about each other. They help each other. Okay, you know how it is, right? When you're in a strange place and you don't have anybody that you know, right? You have to go take the SAT or something and you're all by yourself. And then you find a friend who's also there and you're like, oh, even if you're not really friends at school, just having somebody that you know, you're like, okay, cool. Now I don't feel so alone, right? Okay, that's what's happening here. They make plans. Hey, let's walk back together. It's nice just knowing at the end of the school day, you're going to have somebody who you can meet up with and walk together. Entendido? Okay, so even though they just met, they're forming a nice friendship. See?
Yep.
Sí. Okay, adelante. Entré a nuestra cabaña. Estaba fría y silenciosa. Me acerqué a la ventana para ver el pez dorado de nuestro vecino. Lo observaba nadar de un lado a otro y me pregunté, ¿se sentirá triste de estar solo? Salí y me fui detrás de nuestra cabaña y me senté a la orilla del arroyo en una piedra. Escuchaba el murmullo del agua y veía a los pececillos grises jugar entre ellos mismos. La corriente corría suavemente, arrastrando a las plantas que crecían en el agua. Tomé unas piedritas y las lancé una por una, tratando de no pegarles a los peces. Okay, what did he do? Beginning of the paragraph. Entré a nuestra cabaña.
He entered our cabin.
Yep, he went in his house. Okay, and what was it like? Cold
Silent.
and silent, exactly. Just a reminder, no one's home. Okay? Cold and quiet. And then what did he do?
He watched the fish.
Yes, he went to the window. Acercarse is to get close to. Okay, see the word cerca in there? So me acerque is I got close to the window to watch the goldfish of our neighbor. Okay, and he watched it swim from one side to the other. Y me pregunté. What does preguntar mean? To ask. Good. What does it mean if it's reflexive? Preguntarse.
To ask yourself.
Uh-huh. What's another way of saying that? To wonder. Eso es. So he watched the fish swim from one side to the other, and what did he wonder? ¿Se sentirá triste de estar solo?
Is the fish sad?
Is
that
the
he's
fish
alone?
sad that he's alone? Very good. Is the fish sad that he's alone? We would call that projecting. Yes? Entendido? Sí. All right. Salí y me fui detrás de nuestra cabaña y me senté a la orilla del arroyo en una piedra. Then what did he do? He left and went.
To the little stream river.
Yeah, he went behind the cabin to the arroyo, right? Okay, la orilla is the shore. We wouldn't call it the shore of a river, you call it the bank, yes? But he's on the edge of the river, and he sat down on a piedra. What's a piedra?
Rock.
A rock, very good. Okay, what name in the Bible means rock? Peter, and how do you say Peter in Spanish?
Pedro.
Pedro, right? Pedro. See how Pedro and Piedra are related?
Pedro that lives
Hey.
in the water.
Eso es, muy bien. Escuchaba el murmullo del agua y veía a los pececillos grises jugar entre ellos mismos. What did he do on the rock?
He talked to himself.
No.
We
What's
listen to
escuchaba?
the murmur of the water.
Good. He listened to the sound of the water. That's a nice sound, right? The water flowing. And what else did he do?
This reminds me of the Scarlet Letter.
I don't know the scarlet letter. Let's just stick with Angel de Oro, okay? He listened to the water and
Watch the fish.
he looked at fish. Exactly. What kind of fish?
Crayfish.
Gray fish. Big fish or little fish?
One fish, two fish.
Little fish. They're little gray fish. Okay, you can picture them, right? They're like minnows, yes? Or mosquito fish, someone said last period. I don't know. Yes, little gray fish in the water. You can picture them, yes? Yes, or the ones that eat your feet when you stand in the water too long. Yes? Yes. Okay. Anyhow, he's watching the little gray fish. Okay, and the water is flowing. It's arrastrando las plantas. And then what does he do? Tomé unas piedritas y las lancé una por una, tratando de no pegarles a los peces. He took
Some little rocks.
some little rocks. Piedritas are little rocks or pebbles. Okay, some stones. And what did he do with them?
He threw him at the fish.
He threw them one after the other, trying de no pegarles a los
To not
peces.
hit the
To
little fish.
not hit the fish. How many little boys do you know that would try to hit the fish? This little boy is trying not to hit the fish.
Right.
What's the
Okay?
point of throwing
That
them?
tells us a little bit about his character. Yes? You've never just sat and thrown rocks into water? It's very satisfying.
Oh, okay.
That's what he's doing. He's just throwing rocks into the water. Okay, and trying not to hit the fish. ¿Entendido? Okay. ¿Qué haces? Me preguntó Miguelito, llegando de atrás y haciéndome saltar. What does Miguelito ask?
What's
What
up?
are you doing?
What are you doing? Llegando de atrás. What does that mean?
He came from behind.
Yep, arriving from behind, coming up behind me. Y haciéndome saltar.
He made me jump.
Making me jump. Yes, he didn't know he was there. Then he asked me a question and it scared me. Okay, coming up behind me and making me jump. Solo observo a los peces mientras espero que lleguen mis padres. Le contesté. What was he doing? I'm just
Observing the fish.
watching the fish while
Tossing the rocks.
espero que lleguen mis padres. Read the text. Don't make stuff up. What does he say? While he's waiting for his parents to arrive. Exactly. I'm just watching the fish while I wait for my parents to get home. ¿Quieres atrapar? ¿Atrapar qué? Le pregunté. Peces, tonto, me respondió riéndose. Okay, what does he ask him? Do you want to fish? Do you want to trap? And he says, trap what? Peces, tonto, fish, stupid, he responded, laughing. Antes de que pudiera contestarle, pudiera, past subjunctive, before I could answer him, he jumped up y corrió hacia un pimentero que estaba cerca de allí y le cortó 2 ramas. Estas son nuestras cañas de pescar, me dijo entusiasmado, dándome una de ellas. Mañana traeré otras cosas y las terminaremos de hacer. Okay, he jumped up and what did he do?
No idea.
What in there do we understand?
Cody ran.
Okay, he ran towards something. Y le cortó 2 ramas. What is cortar? Remember what cortar is? To cut. See? So he ran towards something and he cut
Roots.
2
Two
somethings.
roots.
Okay, and then he said, these are our...
Oh,
What do you think he cut?
2 branches.
Branches! Context. See how just from a few words that we understood, we could figure out what it meant? Okay, he ran. What did he run to?
The tree.
A tree. Very good. And he cut
Two branches.
2 branches. That's what ramas are. He cut off 2 branches and he said, these are our fishing poles. Cañas de pescar. Okay, he gave me one. He told me excitedly, these are our fishing poles, and he gave me one of them. Mañana traeré otras cosas y las terminaremos de hacer. What's that saying?
Then it's start.
Tomorrow,
No, I don't know.
traeré, that's the future yo form again, yes? What's that saying? Chicos, if you know it's the future yo form, even if you've never seen the verb before in your life, you should know the first 2 words of what it means. I will. Very good. Tomorrow I will something, other stuff. What will I?
Try.
I'll try other things.
I will.
Traer. Traigo. Caigo, conozco, digo, doy. Hago, pongo, salgo, soy. Traigo.
I will give.
Hold.
Hold.
Bring. Traer is to bring. Tomorrow I'll bring other stuff. And las terminaremos de hacer. We will
Finish.
finish. What's hacer?
Did you make?
Making them. Okay, tomorrow I'll bring more stuff and we'll finish. What are we making?
Fishing.
Fishing.
The fishing poles. You can't just go fishing with a stick. Okay? Tomorrow I'll bring other stuff and we'll finish making them. Make sense? Okay. Esa noche llovió a chorros otra vez y en la mañana la lluvia se convirtió en llovizna. Me puse mi cachucha y salí esperando encontrar a Miguelito para irnos caminando a la escuela juntos. Pero Miguelito no se apareció ni tampoco lo vi en la escuela todo el día. Esa tarde, cuando regresé a casa de la escuela, fui a ver si me estaba esperando en el arroyo. Yo tenía muchas ganas de ir a pescar con él, pero tampoco estaba allí. Entonces recordé que su cabaña era la número 20. Me apresuré y toqué a la puerta. Nadie contestó. Me dirigí a la ventana del costado de la cabaña y me asomé a través de ella. La cabaña estaba totalmente vacía. El corazón se me fue al estómago. Lentamente caminé a casa, recordando la risa de Miguelito cuando corríamos sobre los charcos. Cuando llegué a casa, me paré junto a nuestra ventana, mirando fijamente al pez dorado del vecino por muchísimo tiempo. Finalmente llegó mi familia que había andado todo ese día en el carro buscando trabajo. Okay, we'll keep going. So that night, what happened?
Miguelito.
Not yet. Spoilers.
Rain.
Rain. Good. That night it rained a ton again. Okay, that night it downpoured again. And what happened in the morning?
When you left to go to school, Miguelito was not there.
Okay, but yeah, we're not quite there, but yes. In the morning, la lluvia se convirtió en llovizna. In the morning, the rain turned into,
Hail.
not hail,
That was last week.
not sleet, llovizna. Other guesses? It's not a word we've learned for
Fog.
weather. Nope, but close. Llovizna is a drizzle. Okay, just a very light rain. Entendido? Llovizna, drizzle. So he puts on his jacket and he goes out hoping to find Miguelito so that they can walk to school together. Very good. But
Miguelito is nowhere to be found.
Miguelito no se apareció. He did not show up, nor did Panchito
Find him in his house.
see him en la escuela todo el día.
At school.
See him at school all day. Okay, so esa tarde, what does that mean? That
Evening.
afternoon, when he regresé a casa de la escuela,
Walk back to school.
got home from school, fui a ver si me estaba esperando en el arroyo. He went to see if he was waiting for him at the arroyo. Okay, again, think back to when you were a kid. Can you remember times that you worked on a project with a friend, maybe a neighbor, maybe somebody that you had over to your house, and you got started with it, and then it was time to eat or something, and so you had to take a break to eat, but you're super excited to go back to it, right? Maybe you're building something, maybe it's an art project, okay? That's what happened here. He's super excited about going fishing. They've got their fishing poles. Today they're going to make their fishing poles. Yeah? So he goes back to the arroyo to see if Miguelito is there. Is he there?
No.
No. Okay, so he was super excited about fishing, but he wasn't there. Then, recordé que su cabaña era la número 20. What's that saying? Then,
You remember.
I remembered,
That Miguelito's house was number 20.
good, that his house was number 20. Me apresuré y toqué la puerta. What do you think that's saying?
He appeared,
Not quite.
he showed up,
Not quite.
he pulled up.
No, apresurarse, it means like he hurried over. Okay, he hurried over and toqué a la puerta.
He knocked on the
He
door.
knocked on the door. Was Miguelito there?
No.
No. All right, pass your books forward, please. I'll collect them from the front desk. All right, we will finish that on Monday. Have a lovely weekend.
Because of the rain? Yeah, because